What's up, everybody? Welcome to PFI TV. Today we're going to do some pattern making. Now there's so many options in pattern tools and we don't want to throw away any money, so today I'm going to show you 12 essential tools you need to be a pattern maker, plus 4 that are just fun to have. Now no one is paying me to recommend these tools. This is just decades of experience have shown us the right tools to have. So ready? Let's get started. Our first tool is our most important tool. It's the 2x18 ruler. We've sent many a student to Project Runway, and every one of them knows you can't be a true pattern maker without this tool. It's marked in inches, down to a 1/16 of an inch for accuracy. It's see-through for easy use, and its corners make sure your corners are straight and square across the centers and sides. There are only 4 French curves that you really need. It's easy to see where you're going to use them. Here's a tight one for using around your neck, a longer one for armholes. This is clearly the hip curve. We call this one the variform. You use it for hems and crotches. This dangerous looking tool is the stiletto tracing wheel. You want that for marking lines and copying patterns. Next we have an awl. Make sure it's got a big handle you can push on it and a tapered tip with a little piece of foam underneath. You can poke accurate dart tips. Now along the edges of your pattern you'll want to mark guidelines and dart legs. We use a notcher for that. It looks all for the world like a single hole punch, but it has a little nip on there so you can make a slice in your pattern. That's the proper notch to have. Not one of those triangles. Nobody uses those in the real world. We also then want to look to have butcher paper. This is what we use for drafting. We get this from what we call A&E firms, in other words, architectural and engineering firms. It's 36 inches wide by 500 feet long. And they're the cheapest, the best source for this is the A&E firm. You might want to think about getting sheets at an office supply, but frankly, they're going to be more expensive, smaller. You're going to waste a lot of paper trying to do skirts and pants. Hey, medical examining paper is fine too, but it's a little thin and it's only 24 inches wide. For sure, you're going to need a pencil. Now keep it sharp because a fat pencil lead is going to throw off your fit. You can also use mechanical pencils if you wish. Be sure to have a red pencil for marking your dart tips and your grain lines. Let's get some old 8-inch scissors you don't mind using on paper. We like to use a rotary cutter. In the old days we used these big pattern shears, but they were very clumsy. This is going to give you a much straighter line. And of course you're going to need a Mars Stedler eraser. Get one of those plastic erasers because it's going to give you a clean erase, no smudges, and a small crumb to get rid of all the extra things that you need for making your inevitable mistakes. You're also going to need some tape. Make sure it's 1/2 inch wide because you're going to do a lot of taping. You don't want to weigh down your pattern. And by having a tape holder, you can use it as like a third hand so you can rip your tape while you're holding down your pattern. A skinny tape measure. I'm sure you have lots of regular tape measures around your house, but a skinny tape measure is going to allow you to measure around armholes and neck holes quickly, boom, without a lot of fuss and making it very accurate. Some of you have seen those wiggly rulers. Don't waste the money on those things. You can never get an accurate measurement from those guys. If you're going to choose one book, choose the Building Patterns book. This is the one that we use in our classes. My friend Susie Fuhrer created this thing, and it's actually written in real words where you can understand it and follow the instructions. Isn't that nice? There are 4 good pattern making books out there, but we recommend this one. It's the best. You want to use good quality muslin for making your fitting shells. That is, the prototype garments to test your patterns before you take the time and energy to cut them out of your final fabric. We carry Venus muslin in our store, and that's Venus, just like Venus de Milo, the Greek goddess. It's tightly woven, 100% cotton that stays true to grain, so you can trust any changes you may need to make without worrying about the quality of the muslin. And when I say true to grain, I mean that when you rip it, it's 90-degree angle to your straight of grain. You want to make sure that any fitting changes are because you need to change the fit, not because the fabric is draping or bunching or stretching out on you. And that's why we choose the Venus muslin. Eventually, you're going to want to take your patterns and put them on tag board, also known as oak tag. You go from tracing with your stiletto from your butcher paper to your tag board, because this is now you're saying, this is my final pattern. And by having the tag, you have a nice hard edge that you can trace over and over again. These we get from Los Angeles. It's usually in a 48 wide by 150 foot roll. One little extra thing that's kind of fun are weights to hold your pattern to your tag board while you're tracing it off. Don't go through a lot of money. Don't spend a lot of money at the fabric store for these. Just go to a hardware store and get oversized washers. Hey, and if you have a cat, use cat food cans or tuna cans. They work just as well. Now here are some of the fun things you may want to have along the way. A contractor's calculator. These guys actually give you calculations in fractions so that you can compare those to your rulers and your curves. Another fun thing to have is a rabbit punch. We use these to punch holes in our patterns, and then we grab a pattern hook so then we could put it on the rack in our pattern closet. That way it's easy to sort through and choose. And one other fun thing to have is a ruler pack. These are manufactured and sold through our store. You can see Portland Fashion Institute in there. And it's just a great way to carry your rulers and protect them from sunlight and being bent and all that in the car. Hey, hope that was all helpful to you, and don't worry if you missed anything. We have that list of tools as links on all of our pattern classes on the pfi.edu website. Now, as far as the tools, you can purchase them through our PFI supply store separately or in kits, and that's at pfisewing.com. In our next video, I'll show you how to use these tools to manipulate patterns. I hope you guys have a great day and a great life. Make sewing your superpower, and I'll see you next time at PFI TV.